instance boss with Juggernaut, and then of course if we keep on moving through here, we're going to get to our third one. And mind you, all of these bosses randomly spawn, so you never know who you're going to fight. And you might fight the same person in the same spot twice in a row, or you might fight all, I think it's 4 or 5 different bosses that are actually in here that switch places.
6.
Is it 6?
6 total, 2 each.
2 each, yeah, so there you go. So there's 6. Reese's told you there's 6 of them.
Yeah, the first one is Living Laser or Walktrhough. Second is Grim Reaper and Juggernaut.
Grim Reaper and
the last
Juggernaut.
One is either then Lady Deathstrike or the Hood.
Or the Hood, yeah. And you might actually have to do this instance a couple times just so you get all 3 medals, so you can pick which PvP location you want to be in or PvP team you'd like to be on. But you will have to complete all of Chapter 8. You just can't come to this last chapter or this last instance here, or the Doom instance, and get in. You have to complete the entire Chapter 8, all the quest lines, everything, in order to actually open up that quest line for endgame content and PvP. And after we do it, I'll see the Hood just pop. So after we do this, that first 7 days, which is going to be the race to server first. After we do our race to server first, and we actually get race to server first, we're going to like really do some really cool stuff. Like we're going to do naked runs where we're going to do low level characters and run them as high up as we can with wearing no gear, no medals, no artifacts, no nothing, just to show like, you know, how elite Marvel Knights is. And how hardcore our players are. Do you remember the naked run we were doing, Reese's?
Yes.
It actually was kind of fun, dude. Like doing Kingpin at level 11 naked was yeah.
And with all the supposedly crappy characters.
We used every single poon character in the game, supposedly. Like I was playing Daredevil, Life was playing Logan. You were which character were you playing?
I think I can't remember who, but I think me and somebody else traded out as Black Panther.
Black Panther, and then Lion was playing Punisher. And we got all the way to Pyro at level, what, 13? 12 or 13?
Yeah, I think so.
With no gear, and wow, what a wall.
Yeah, he wasn't fun.
He was not fun.
Yeah, we're entering Doom's throne room now.
So here's Doom's throne room. Now, wait, don't go in there yet. Hold off for a second. So now, one thing you're going to notice is when we first got into this beginning instance, you will not be able to use your body slider. You will not be able to go back to the helicarrier. Once you get here, though, you can use your body slider. But let me explain something to you. If you body slide from this location and you enter into Doom's room for the fight, if you die, okay, and do not get rezzed, and you have to go back, it's going to put you on the helicarrier, and your team will have to drop you out, or you're going to have to leave party and get re-invited. It's a real pain. You have a question in stream?
This guy, Z Cloudy, he wanted to know what would be better, to play Spider-Man or Thor or Captain America.
Personally, out of that group, like if I was going to choose in that group, it would be Thor. And the only reason I say that is because if you actually stack Thor right, and I showed Tony this build, Thor is a freaking DPS god. I mean, he feels like a god playing him. You just have to know, like and I'm not going to give it away because I'm going to do an episode of Thor. But if you use a specific skill that Thor has, which is, and you have to aim the skill Once you get the aiming mechanics down, he is the most DPS character in this game, bar none. No questions asked. Way higher than Phoenix, way higher than, Iron Man, way higher than any of the other ones that they're claiming are such high DPSs. And we actually, myself and Tony in the group, or Talel, actually proved it. I got Thor's DPS ratio at 4,255 DPS, for DPS. So 4552. It was that high. And the highest I have on Iron Man, this is before they screwed up my costume, because I did have 27% attack speed. But when I put my third tier on, it took it away and gave me dodge, or not dodge, critical chance. Instead of getting my attack speed, it took away my high attack speed for the third tier and gave me critical. Before that, I was doing 3,800 and around 3,800 on this one, 3,800. But on Thor, it was at 4,552. So definitely, he's been the highest mechanic as far as DPS I've seen.
Spider-Man. Reese's could tell you. What do you think about Spider-Man? Because this guy's asking what would play better. So just give him some feedback.
It depends on your playstyle. If you want straight damage, Spider-Man's not the best damage character, but my dodge is so high I can stand in the fire in this fight and not take a hit for like probably 20 seconds. If y'all turn your numbers on, and you can see just all the dodges coming off the top of my head.
Yeah, I like the add on that. Black Widow's really high in dodge. Reese's could tell you that too. Like, we both dodge a lot. I would say Captain America is better for a team. He's a team type player like Cyclops.
Oh, absolutely.
He's used mainly for his buff, his speed buff, which is really nice to have. He's a good guy to have on a team as well. He does pretty good damage, but that speed buff, by far is the reason why you'll see Captain America in game.
Yeah, like I said, it's just been a real pain in the ass, because like you expect when you're doing tiers on your costumes to go up and not down. This is the first like crafting system I've ever seen where you go to a higher tier and you have a chance of getting worse stats than you got before. And because it costs so much to like craft that system or to actually use that portion. Yeah.
Let me show you the animation for the drones here. Look how poor this is. That's them.
Are you
they
serious?
Look like gnats or like bugs. They look like bugs.
What the hell are they? Stars or flies, or what the hell is that?
She's releasing butterfly drones.
They're tiny robots that seek out enemies, and they do 247 to 320 damage per impact.
What's the attack speed on it?
There isn't. It's just a 0.5 cooldown.
How many are there? It's a 0.5 cooldown. Hit it again. One. Okay, do that again so I can figure out how many.
6 to 8.
It looks like 8.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
It looks like 8. So let's see. And what's the damage ratio?
247 to 320, and then it's only 2 ranks into it because of a piece of gear I have.
Times 8. So one shot does 2144.
That's if all of the little drones hit the same enemy.
That's if every single one of them hit it.
Yeah.
You get 2144 damage on a single attack.
Yeah, like on a boss fight.
Like on a boss fight, that's what you get is 2144. Okay, before we enter into this room, let me explain to you the mechanic of this thing. Okay, so you guys who are watching understand the mechanics of this specific fight. When you first zone in here, you're going to see Doom standing right in front of Bishop, who he's got trapped inside of a life-sapping machine, and he's got a couple different drones that pop up, that pop these little blue orbs that fly towards him. The key portion of this first part is to capture or collect as many of those blue orbs as you possibly can before they reach him. Because if you don't, and the blue orbs reach Doom, he gets his health back. So if you've been in this fight and you're trying to figure out why he keeps on gaining all of his health back in this first portion of this fight, and you're going, what the hell? I'm doing DPS and I'm running around, and you're thinking maybe it's a glitch. It's not a glitch. The mechanic is the blue orbs that are flying towards him from the turrets give him health. And if you collect those before they go to him, he doesn't get his health back as fast or at all if you get all of them. Okay? It's pretty self-explanatory. Second phase of this is going to be eat balls. Yep, exactly. Eat balls. Bowls of steel. Okay, so anyways, once you get the ball, once you've taken down the orbs, the blue orbs that are his health orbs that go to him, and you've taken him down, the first phase of this, the second phase is he's going to become two gigantic things that become one because they have the graphic all screwed up and it's kind of stupid, really. But anyways, so you get the one giant guy, and he's going to spawn a couple of rings on the ground. It's basically like WoW mechanics. Stay out of the shit. Don't stand in the shit. Don't get in the shit, and you won't die. Pretty easy. He's got a couple really up-close melee abilities that he does, but nothing really fancy, nothing that does a whole lot of damage. Basically, you're going to kite him in the second stage. Basically, you're going to kite him in the second stage, and you're going to just basically, just keep on hitting him from range until he's down all the way, until he goes until you down him. And then once he's downed, the rings are still going to stay there. He's going to go to his third phase, which is his astral phase, his Doom astral phase, okay? And in that phase, he's still going to have the rings. He's going to spawn some spawn ads that are monsters, and hopefully you take him down way before then. But he's going to spawn some ads that are going to be like bugs and some demons and stuff like that. No big deal. Basically, you can down them pretty fast. Stay out of the shit again. If you get inside of the rings, luckily they changed the mechanic. It used to be that if you got in a ring, you were down for good. It actually locked you to the floor. You couldn't get away from it. But they have changed that now in this last patch. It seems like they fixed that. One thing you do want to make sure of, though, is that if you down the third phase of Doom... Oh, by the way, in the third phase of Doom, his major attack is a barrage. And is all you have to do is kite away from it. As long as you don't stand in it, unless you're like Reese's, who's wearing like a spandex outfit, giving him 81 plus % in dodge, then you can't stand in front of that barrage. But basically, you're just going to kite around that barrage, make sure you're not taking too much of the barrage damage, and keep on doing damage to him until he's completely down. Now, the point I was trying to make before I said that was, in this particular instance, there is a glitch in the floor of the spatial areas. If you kill Doom next to one of these spatial areas, and his shit drops, it drops a medal and other shit in the middle of, and he goes 84% because he wants me to say 84% to dodge. Thank you very much. Oh my God, you're such a prima donna wearing spandex. Okay, so when the Doom goes down and he's completely dead, he's gonna fling his shit out, which is his drops. When his drops go out, you want to keep him away from the damn astral ports because you will not be able to get the shit that lands in the astral holes. And I didn't say assholes, I said astral holes. So make sure that you do, when you do down him, try to move him away from one of those astral holes so you don't possibly get his medal or possibly a Doom mask that drops, which is what you really want out of here, because it helps you up your crafters quickly. You get 12,000 XP for the Doom mask. So it's very important that if a Doom mask drops, you don't want it to get stuck in that astral hole where you can't get it out. Okay?
Well, a workaround too, which still kind of sucks, is if you have a character that has a charge or a roll, you can roll into that area as well.
Yeah, you can roll
to
into
get
it.
But
you can't fly into it.
Still
If you have
sucks.
flight, you can't fly into the hole. So don't try that because it's just a waste of time. Try that.
Do we want to drag it out so we show them what spawns?
We probably could. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. I mean, we can just blast through it. I basically gave the entire mechanic of the instance. So.
Oh, one more thing too. In the third phase, the fire actually locks onto a character and follows you around. So if 3 or 4 fires are following one person, have that person kite the fires away from the group, is also would be very helpful as well.
Excellent. Yes, that's another good point. I forgot about that one too. Good point. The good thing though, it
instead
doesn't
of
lock
kiting
you
it-
in place. At least it's not locking you onto the floor now.
Yeah, I'd say instead of kiting it, just run it to the door, all the fires. That way your whole team has plenty of room to work killing Doom.